I have just opened a new sheet and let's basically see what we need to do. So let's say I have a column B where if this has yes, I need to fit timestamp here. So initially I would do something like this. If then my true condition would be to put timestamp here, and if it is not yes, then just put a blank. Alright. Now the problem with this whole thing is that every time the sheet loads, the timestamp changes. Right? Right. To solve this problem, what we need to do is we need to make sure that the timestamp here only gets here once. Okay, so let's try to do that. So let's try and do that. So let's try to write a formula. If then now what we need is that if this is, we need to only put a timestamp here if the cell A2 does not have a timestamp already. So let's say if it does not have a timestamp, it is basically going to have no value because this cell has to have a timestamp. So we are going to say A2 is not blank, then just put whatever is there in A2 back, and if it is blank, then put the current timestamp, and if there is no yes in B2, just put a blank here, right? Now we have to understand this, because the moment I do that, what is going to happen is, okay, so if you see this error, it says there's a circular dependency detected. To resolve with iterative calculation, see file spreadsheet settings. Now if you remember, our coach had asked us to go to spreadsheet settings, calculation, and say this is the reason he had asked us to do that, right? Now let me just copy it here. Now if I put yes, there is a time here, right? If you see, this timestamp changes, but this time does not change at all. This is what you wanted to achieve. Whenever I put a yes, I get a timestamp. That does not change. I think this is what you were looking for.